Olá! Nesse vídeo eu gostaria de falar sobre pretérito perfeito e sobre pretérito imperfeito. These are two kinds of past in Portuguese that often create some kind of confusion because in English you can kind of say it in a bunch of ways and you can add particles or expressions or adverbs that make this idea of something of something finished in the past or something that was ongoing or a regular thing in the past. Or sometimes when you're speaking English, you don't even look at that because the feeling is kind of different, but you don't even pay attention to how different the feeling is because the language doesn't change or doesn't need to change. I'm rambling, so let's get started. Let's start with the verb ir. Ir, to go. Pretérito perfeito. Yesterday he went to the shopping mall. Ontem ele foi pro shopping. Ontem ele foi pro shopping de chinelo, wearing flip-flops. But he would often go to the shopping mall wearing shoes. Mas ele sempre ia usando sapatos. So he would always go wearing shoes, but yesterday he went to the shopping mall wearing flip-flops. Ser. Ela foi uma boa aluna. She was a good student. Ela foi uma boa aluna in this school, nesta escola. I don't know how she's behaving in the other school. Eu não sei como ela está se comportando na outra escola. So she was a good student in this school. You were kind of remembering the time in which she studied in the school in like a blob of pretérito perfeito. Ela foi uma boa aluna nessa escola. But I don't know how she's behaving in the other one. Eu não sei como ela está se comportando na outra escola. Which is a little bit different from if I said ela era uma boa aluna. Ela era uma boa aluna. Eu queria que ela ainda estivesse aqui. I wish she was still here. Eu queria que ela, ainda still estivesse. I wanted that she still was aqui. Here. Ela era uma boa aluna. In this case, it's more like she used to be a good student. She was a good student here, and then you're kind of remembering all of the evidence that you have for her being a good student. Ela era uma boa aluna. Oh, she used to be a good student, you know? Whereas in this one, ela foi uma boa aluna. She was and is no more because she's in another school. Ela foi uma boa aluna nessa escola. Maybe things get confusing, and I think it's a necessary step for then, because these things are confusing not because you are not good at understanding them. I guess it's not so simple because English and Portuguese have evolved differently. Therefore, we need to talk about this and we need to struggle a little bit so that we can finally become comfortable with this linguistic construct. It's not just grammar, it's a feeling and it's a construct. Anyway, fazer, to do. Well, my mom baked a cake yesterday. My mom made a cake yesterday. Not yesterday, last week. A minha mãe fez bolo semana passada. Week passed. Week passed. A minha mãe fez bolo semana passada. She used to make pão de queijo, but she doesn't anymore. Ela fazia, she would often do, she would regularly do. Ela fazia pão de queijo em dias de chuva. She would make pão de queijo in rainy days, in days of rain. Ela fazia pão de queijo em dias de chuva. But she doesn't anymore. Mas ela não faz mais. But she doesn't do anymore. She doesn't do more, like anymore. Okay. Ver, não, ter. Eu tive vários animais na minha infância e adolescência. I have had, I think that this is what you would say. I have had many animals in my life. Eu tive muitos animais ao longo da minha vida. I have had chicken, eu tive galinhas, patos, ducks, pigeons, pombos, doves, pombas, quail, codornas, dogs. I have never had a cat. Eu nunca tive gato. That's true. And I could talk about that situation using Pretérito Imperfeito, but then I would be going back to that situation and I would be, I guess, elaborating on that, or maybe I would say this inside of a conversation where it's clear that we're talking about my childhood and all that it contained, all that I'm sorry. So let's see. I used to have these animals. Eu tinha esses animais. And I used to take care of them every day. I used to care for them every day. E eu cuidava deles todos os dias. So this is pretérito imperfeito. This is also pretérito imperfeito. Eu tinha esses animais, eu cuidava deles todos os dias. I would feed them. I would give them water and food. Eu dava comida e água para eles, for them. Yeah. Ver. Eu vi. Ele viu. Nós vimos. Eles viram. We saw the Big Ben when we went to England. I have never been to England. Nós vimos o Big Ben quando nós fomos para Inglaterra. Whereas here, we could say we used to see airplanes passing by every day before the pandemic. We would often see airplanes flying by before the pandemic. Nós víamos muitos aviões passando antes da pandemia. Yeah. Estar. To be. Temporary kind of thing. This is another confusing thing, and I will make another video on that alone. Estar, ser. But well, let's go with estar. Estiveram. Yeah, I have some difficulty coming up with an example. It's your time to think and make an example as well. Algum cachorro esteve aqui? Has any dog been here? Algum cachorro esteve aqui? Por acaso? By any chance? Algum cachorro esteve aqui por acaso? Because I'm smelling something, or, you know. Sim, o meu cachorro estava deitado nesse tapete. Has any dog been here by any chance? You're asking about it as if it were an episode, like a yes or no kind of question, right? And then here, sim, o meu cachorro estava deitado nesse tapete. Yeah, my dog was laying down on this rug, on this carpet. Estava. And then here I want to say that it was for some time laying there, you know? I don't just want to say that it was there. I want to say that it was for some time laying there. Amar. To love. Amar. Who have you loved the most? Quem você mais amou? Quem você mais amou? Who did you love the most? Who have you loved the most? I keep coming. I keep having these thoughts about school and childhood when I'm talking about Pretérito, Imperfeito, but it's not only for that, of course. Did you love your kindergarten teachers? Você amava os seus professores do jardim de infância? Did you love, like, did you create a relationship? Você amava? I'm not asking if you have ever loved them, if you ever loved your teacher. I'm asking if, during your period there, if you loved them. I think that these things help you understand, and this is why I keep making gestures and stuff. Poder. They had the tickets, but they couldn't get into the club. Eles tinham os ingressos, mas não puderam entrar. They had the tickets, but they weren't allowed to get in. They couldn't get in. Eles não puderam entrar. So, yeah. So, in this episode, they were there with the tickets, and they couldn't get in. Eles não puderam entrar. Because somebody didn't let them in, I guess. Whereas... Again, at school, we could go to the bathroom anytime we wanted, and this is not true. Well, I could make a negative. At school, we couldn't go to the bathroom anytime we wanted. Na escola, nós não podíamos ir ao banheiro quando a gente quisesse, whenever we wanted. Oops. Quando a gente quisesse. Yeah, dar, to give. I didn't give a gift to my friend yesterday, but I will give it today. Eu não dei presente para minha amiga, mas eu vou dar hoje. But I will give it today. But I will give today. I would always give some coins to homeless people when I lived closer to downtown. Eu sempre dava moedas para pessoas em situação de rua, people in situation of street, moradores de rua, people who live on the streets, but this is not good. When I lived closer to downtown, quando eu morava perto do centro. Quando? Haver. Haver is a verb that I don't use that much. It means like there is, there are. Yeah. For example, what has happened? What what happened? O que houve? Which could be like, o que aconteceu? What happened? What was there inside of that box? O que havia dentro da caixa? In this case, it's more like, I guess, obvious that it would be havia, because something that is in the box, it's not only in an episode, right? It's something that was there, and then you open the box and you see and it's still there. O que havia dentro da caixa? What was there inside of the box? At least for me, it's obvious. But nothing is obvious in language learning, actually. So, pôr, to put. It's a verb that I don't use that much. Eu pus, você pôs, eles puseram. Eu punha. Comer, to eat. What did you eat for breakfast? O que você comeu no café da manhã? When I was a kid, I ate the crumbs of the bread first, before the middle part. Quando eu era criança, eu comia as cascas do pão, the bread crusts, actually, as cascas do pão primeiro, e depois o miolo, the inside. O que você comeu no café da manhã? What did you eat? What have you had for breakfast? When I was a kid, I used to eat the bread crusts first, and after the middle, the inside, miolo. Right. Querer, to want. I've always wanted to be a biologist, actually. Eu sempre quis ser biólogo. And then here I could say, eu queria ser biólogo quando eu era criança. I used to believe that I wanted to be a biologist when I was a kid. Eu queria ser biólogo quando eu era uma criança. And then in this example, I think that I am kind of extending this thought of being a biologist throughout my childhood. I'm making it's a broader statement instead of just saying, I've always wanted to be a biologist. It's just a piece of information. It's dry and it's cold. Am I making it too sentimental? Eu queria ser biólogo quando eu era criança. I longed to be a biologist when I was a kid. I had this feeling that I wanted to be a biologist when I was a kid. I always wanted to be a biologist when I was a kid. Yeah. Is this video making it more confusing? Sometimes I worry about that. Well, I'm gonna wrap it up here, and I hope that you have learned a little bit. Obrigado. Tchau, tchau.